Your positive ovulation test might be wrong, telling you to try on the wrong days. I'm about to share the shocking reason why and how to fix it. Because if you don't fix it and fall into this category, you'll keep missing your fertile window each month. Hi, I'm Jaya. I'm a natural fertility expert. I've been helping women like you get pregnant for over 15 years. Okay, so you've got a positive ovulation test, great. But what if you didn't actually ovulate? Because you're only getting an LH surge. LH is your luteinizing hormone. It peaks every month when you're about to ovulate, and then your egg pops out. But ovulation is not confirmed with that peak. What those ovulation test kits are measuring is your LH hormone. So it's measuring when you're surging, but there's no way to actually confirm that. So most often than not, it's enough. But there's a portion of women where it's actually not working, or they're getting these ovulation positive OPKs at wrong times of the month. So what this means is you need other methods to confirm ovulation if you aren't having success. And there are certain people who should avoid these ovulation test kits altogether, and I'm going to discuss who that is. But if you like the info you're getting so far, drop a like and subscribe. Thank you so much. It really helps me grow the channel. If you're in any of these three groups of women, PCOS, that's PCOS, irregular cycles, or you've got a really low ovarian reserve, you should probably opt out of doing these ovulation test kits. Don't worry, I'm going to share a better way for you to track your cycle. For all those ladies out there who have PCOS or suspect they have it, you will most likely have a chronically elevated LH, which means that your body is trying to ovulate all throughout the cycle. Always, it's trying to pop an egg out. But what will happen is you'll get these peaks throughout your whole cycle, which will mean that you'll get false positives all the time. And what I see a lot with the women that I work with is they'll get that peak, they'll get a peak, but without actually ovulating around day 14, and then they won't check. So if you're in this situation where you think that you're ovulating around day 14, but you've got these really long cycles, you're not ovulating then. You think you might be, but you're actually not. So you cannot have long cycles and have an early ovulation. Your luteal phase, that's that second part of the cycle between ovulation and your period, can only be a maximum of 16 to 18 days. If it's any longer than that, then you're pregnant. So what that means is that you're not actually getting a proper ovulation. And sometimes with these women, they're not actually ovulating at all. So they're not able to push that egg out. So if you think that you're in this category, you just avoid them completely. If you have irregular cycles, similar sort of thing, your body can be trying to have the peak, or you might just get a negative ovulation test the whole way through. And it's really hard to track here. So for these women, I would be working in particular on figuring out why your cycles are so irregular, because it might not be PCOS. It might be hypothalamic amenorrhea. There can be other factors here at play that could be causing the irregular cycles. Could be other hormones, could be lifestyle factors for women who over-exercise or they're under-eating enough calories. So there's a lot more at play here that to work with. But for these people, the ovulation test kits are not really a great tracking tool. Women with a diminished or a low ovarian reserve or a low AMH, they might not be ovulating every month. So with these women, I see that they often have very low levels of LH, so we need to be working on that to bring up. So you might not be registering a positive on your test, or other cases that they have quite elevated LH. But what the problem is here is that we're missing the correct day of ovulation. So I find that with the ovulation test kits, there's a small group of women that it works really well for. They fall pregnant, great. Other women, it's either giving us the wrong day, off by like 1 or 2 days, or it's just completely false. So it's not the best tool when you're trying to track your cycle, and getting that fertile window right is really important, and it's a really good place to start. So if we have a timing issue straight up, it's something we need to fix straight away. But don't worry, I'm about to show you how to actually interpret your fertility accurately, even if ovulation tests have been failing you, because when you understand your body's unique signals, you won't need to rely on these types of tests anymore. Stop obsessing over that one positive test result, because your body is giving many more signals about your fertility, and you might be missing all of them. Let me explain this first. Because when you understand this concept, it makes it much easier to understand when you need to be trying and how long your fertile window is. Sperm can survive in the body up the vagina for up to 5 days, but the egg will only last for 12 to 24 hours. So if you're waiting for that positive ovulation test to try, you might be actually trying too late. So fertile window is the day of ovulation and the 5 days before. And we do this because sperm can live those few days up close to the cervix. And so we know that more sperm that are there closer to the egg, the better chance of an implantation. Another mistake I see couples making is that they're timing intercourse. Once they get a positive, then they start trying. But if you're trying well and truly after that ovulation, after that 12 to 24 hours, there's really no chance of an implantation. You need to be trying well and truly before ovulation to try and catch that fertile window. Research shows us that you're most fertile the day of ovulation and the day before, so you can really get those days as well. That's going to be really helpful. Just quickly, if you're really struggling to figure out your fertile window, your cycle, or anything else about your fertility, I open up a few spots every month to work directly one-to-one with people. So if you're looking for some extra support and you're interested in this, you can book a free discovery call and we can talk about what options might work best for you. There's a link in the description. If you feel like your ovulation test kits are inaccurate or they're not working for you, you can use other methods with it to confirm how accurate it is. I'm talking about basal body temperature tracking and cervical mucus tracking for real accuracy. So cervical mucus, we're looking for that sticky egg white mucus that will come before ovulation. So when you see this, you'll either see it when you go to the toilet or you'll see it in your undies. It looks different to a normal discharge. It looks like egg white, essentially. And for some women, they get loads of it. For other women, not so much. You don't need to go looking for it. As long as you often notice a difference between dry to wet, that's what we're looking for there, and as well as that change in consistency. So that's a sign that ovulation is coming soon, and you might find that that matches up when you start getting positives on your ovulation test kits. Another way to track is to use a basal body temperature tracking, and that's when you get a thermometer that's specific to 2 decimal points under the tongue every morning before you get out of bed. And you can pop it into an app like Fertility Friend. I really love Natural Cycles. It's such a good app. It's really easy to track. The algorithm's really accurate. So Natural Cycles, you can use it with a temperature, or you can use an Oura ring. We'll track it for you. And once you can see that ovulation on that chart, or if you're using Natural Cycles, the app will basically tell you that you're in your fertile window and what day you ovulate. Then you can see how accurate these tests are for you. Then you can decide whether you're going to continue using them or you're going to use other methods that are going to work with your body in a better way. If the idea of temperature tracking is just so out of your realm and it's going to cause you more stress, you don't have to do it. There are other options as well. There's Tempdrop, which has a band around your arm that you can wear overnight and it tracks it for you. So if you're a shift worker, this is a great option. Or if you're not waking up at the same time every day, another option as well. It's important when you're doing the temperature tracking that you don't track on days when you've had very poor sleep or you've had a few drinks the night before or you've been sick, because then your temperatures will be inaccurate. But what we're looking for here, if you're not using an app like Natural Cycles, is we're looking for a rise in temperature. And it's quite a bit higher than those earlier follicular phase temps. So that's from when you get your period through to ovulation. We see that rise, and when that temperature is higher for a sustained 3 days, we can confirm ovulation. When we track your temperatures, we're looking for patterns in your cycle here. So we're looking at when you did ovulate. It's not a predictive tool. So this is about getting to know your cycle and to know when you ovulate. So if you're trying around that fertile window, you don't have to be getting the exact day every month, but knowing that you're covering that week is more than enough. So now you know that ovulation tests can get it wrong, and getting your fertile window right is essential. What about the other part of the story? Male fertility is at an all-time low and extends beyond a simple sperm test. Men's health is just as important as yours. In this video here, I share 10 lifestyle habits that will improve his sperm quality fast. Check it out. Let me know what you think.